depressed, angry people.
What are your don't gets this week?
Doing too much and issues. Are you picking up dog barks on my end?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay. So we're still looking at 30 voicemails.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I have a hard out at 3 p.m.
Cool.
So this is going to be fun. Oh, we're live. Sweet. I did hit that. Okay. Let's make sure that this is coming through. Are you hearing that?
Yep.
Cool. Then they should be good to go. This week's episode of Here's What I Don't Get is brought to you in part by The Doors. The Doors, who wrote one of the greatest ending songs of all time. Hello and welcome back to Here's What I Don't Get, from north to south, east to west, the longest consecutively running podcast on the See You Next Tuesday network, and the only formerly international podcast to tackle all of life's toughest issues. I'm your host, Tab Burton. With me today, as always, my friend and your favorite co-host, Tim the Handlebreaker.
How's it going?
Not too bad. Been a busy week.
It has.
And then next week is not looking any better. Dealing with a group coming into our theater who has not done anything to prepare any of their materials for getting the show done. We had what I can only ascertain was their first production meeting on Sunday. Today, we're recording on Tuesday, the 23rd. We had this meeting on Sunday, the 21st, and the show loads in on the 29th.
Great.
And we're asking all these questions about, the logistics of getting the show to work. And all the answers were, I don't know. Like, how the fuck do you not know? It's your job to know. You need to know these things. We need, like, a lot of this stuff we should have had months ago, but you guys just keep fucking up. And so we're just like, we're trapped dealing with these people. And because of agreements made in the past, and it's like, we really got to nip this shit in the bud right away.
Yeah.
Get these fucking people out of here.
Is it a symptom of, like, the thing that a lot of people have noticed, like, this year so far, that there's a lot of new people going around, and, like, a lot of, like, first timers, or like people that have been like shoved in willy-nilly because someone else, had to exit or quit? Is it a mix of that?
You would think that, but it's not. They've kind of always operated like this and just assumed that their stuff would happen because the person who had my job before was very kind. And so he would just hop in and fix things for them.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of person. I mean, it comes down to like my philosophy in audio engineering. I get this a lot. People will be like, oh, make sure we sound good. My job is not to make you sound good. My job is to make you audible as a sound guy. So if you sound bad, that is the sound that's going out into the world.
Yeah.
It's your job to make you sound good. That's the same way I am about like theater stuff. Or just anything. I'm doing my part is to give you this amount of work to make you what you're doing successful. If you're not going to meet me halfway, I'm not fucking meeting you 3/4 of the way. And so they're going to get like this rude awakening when they start to be like, oh, can't you handle that? No, I can't fucking handle it. Partially because we're understaffed right now, and partially because it's not my fucking responsibility. And so the production manager and I are basically exactly on the same page. And the solution that I would like to see is for them to just be like, you're out of here, you're done. But I don't think that'll ever happen, which is unfortunate. So anyway, yeah, that's been a extremely frustrating aspect of the last couple of days. So, what about you, Tim? What have you had going on?
A lot of shows. I think I had 1 day off. I've had 1 day off.
Yeah, they're starting to lean on you heavy.
Yeah.
You must be doing something right.
They're starting to lean on everyone heavy. Put it that way. One of the dispatcher guys was at the show yesterday. Like literally, he showed up, like not as a hand, but he showed up to poach people
for another call.
For another call.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny. I thought it was pretty funny.
It's yeah. I talked to my old assistant when I was there. The last time I was in Tulsa, he and I met up and had some drinks and talked about things. And like, I don't feel like there's hope. But no. It's funny because now I'm out here in St. Louis, right? I'm talking to people who do the same kind of stuff in a different city. Like, yeah, we were 35 people short this last show. We're usually about 10 or 15 short. And I was like, I was usually like 1 or 2 short. And they'd be like, how is that even possible? Oh my God. I don't know how. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what worked and what didn't, but something we were doing was working. So every one of those motherfuckers that would come in there and be like, what do you mean? We're 5 people short. Like, yeah, welcome to the fucking rest of the country where you're regularly 10 or 15 people short. Fucking blow me. And you know this. You're just fucking trying to get me to be like, oh, well, we'll give you a disc. Get fucked to death.
That's the craziest part is not just that, but the way like big shows operate. Someone brought it up a couple weeks ago, how like hands you go like a couple hours north of us and hands are getting paid double, but so is the like venue and everything.
Yeah.
Right. And so you come down here and you're getting everything for half. You're getting the same thing for half price, and you still have the audacity to go after who's ever doing the, invoicing and being like, hey, can we skim off a couple bucks off of this guy's paycheck, or can we get something here?
No, our rates are obscenely low, and our work quality was. I mean, people know Tulsa's stagehands.
Yeah,
like they know. They changed their riders coming into Tulsa to be like, oh, yeah, we don't need to start at 5 a.m. We can start at 7 and we'll be done. But they have to start at 5 a.m. all across the country because the riggers and other locals suck ass and can't hang a show in 2 hours. And they know that they're going to be short. And they're going to have all these problems, and those problems don't happen in Tulsa. I don't know why. I don't have an answer to that. I never figured it out. But all I know is that as far as things went, I got a lot of flack for something that was nationwide, and we were doing way better on than most people. So it's funny to like have those things confirmed after the fact. And the real thing that they should do out down there in Tulsa is start telling people no. Like there are groups that need to be told no.
Yeah.
ORU needs to not have work happen. I still haven't been paid. April fucking 1st. I still have not been paid for a 4-hour call on April 1st. It's ridiculous. Fuck those people. Oh yeah, we got a new accounting person, and they didn't know that they have to pay invoices. What the fuck do you think you have to do with them? Did you use them as Kleenex while you jerk off, you stupid cunt? Oh, Jesus. Speaking of stupid cunts, there's a new Twitter account called Clamoring Carl that's taking screenshots of the WATP Discord. And I figured out that they're just going into the search function and typing in the word retard, faggot, the N-word. Like they're searching keywords so that they're abandoning the context going on.
Yes.
So I've just been posting these like long screeds about how Stuttering John is a faggot and a retard and his kids are worthless, because they're just searching those couple of key terms and they keep screenshotting him and putting him up on the Twitter, and then
That's great.
and then Stuttering John retweets them. It's like, that's fucking Stuttering John doing
Yeah,
that.
of course it is.
And so it's been so much fun to see those posts get thrown up there, because it's in Carl's Discord. I'm Tab from HWIDG, and I'm waiting for him to figure out what that means.
Yeah.
So that maybe he can. Here's my goal. Like, I want to get LOL. I want to be in the WATP lawsuit. How great that be? Like, I'm the only guy who would be in the original and the sequel.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. It'd be Lawsuit 2.
Yes.
Morning DJ Boogaloo.
Yeah.
It's shit. I've been having so much fun with that, because then I'll post like this long screed that's like Stuttering John's a retard faggot, and then right below it I'll post like this guy is gonna search this, and this is the only thing he's gonna see, and I'll like post a more detailed, and none of that shit ever makes.
Of course not. No,
because it doesn't have those keywords in it.
Yep.
And also, here's the most disturbing part, Tim. This is the single most disgusting part of these screenshots, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
They're in light mode.
Oh yeah, that's no. Only sociopaths use light mode.
I just figured out that I can make people's comments show up on the stream. What a perfect time to figure that out. I'm so good at this. Holy shit, I'm good at this.
10.
Well, it's all been a disaster up until this point. So, whatever. Anyway, well, Tim, are you ready to hop into some issues?
Yeah.
What is your first issue this week?
So, speaking of shows, here's what I don't get. Doing too much.
Yeah.
I was on a show this week for a band I've never heard of. Never heard a song by them. Couldn't tell you what they looked like. Couldn't tell you what kind of music they played. All I know is that they had the stage setup of someone whose music you do know. And I don't mean a specific person. I just mean in general. Someone's who everyone's music, everyone knows their music. Yeah. They have that stage set up. It was this, they had the humongous, arena stage, and then they had 2 thrusts on each side, coming off and then ramping down and then going into a half diamond and meeting at the middle.
God damn.
And all the thrust section was double layered. Not just it wasn't just the decking. It was double decking, bottom and top.
Oh my god.
And guess who got to be a carpenter on that show?
You?
Yeah.
Sucks to be low man on the totem pole.
It does, doesn't it? And then a couple days ago, right, same venue, a band most people, maybe not most people, but at least a lot of people have heard of, played. Mm-hmm. They brought with them 3 trucks and I heard that those trucks weren't even like packed.
Packed, yeah.
And their setup was the stage, speakers, and I think 3 trusses of light.
Yeah. Because when you're like a real musician that plays real music, you don't need all that show.
Of course
now,
not.
I don't know what everyone's opinion of Jack White is.
But
Jack White, you did his show. Yeah. It was my last show in Tulsa, basically. It was, a little band setup, some light trusses. I think there was a video wall, and that was it. Like,
but
and he stood still and played the guitar. Like that was the show. But then you see these ones like Justin Bieber where they've got all trucks full of extra dancers and everything's a fucking lighting wall, and they got props that come in and go out and all this shit, and it's just like all this production to hide the fact that nobody has any talent.
Yeah. The more dancers you have, the less talent you have. Yeah.
I mean, look at when Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube were out there, right? It was a house stage. It was a small stage.
Mm-hmm.
They had a picnic table on there for Snoop Dogg to sit on.
Yeah.
They had a DJ stand for the DJ to play their beats. and then they had microphones and monitors, and they had a projection screen to put content on, and they just went out there. They sold out 2 nights in a row in a 20,000 seat arena, and everybody had a great time. Why? Because they put on a show that doesn't need a bunch of like bling. And sure, they had strippers.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know, that's more in the culture.
Those are stage props.
They are stage props. They hired local strippers. It wasn't like they were touring strippers with them. They're just like they called up Night Trips or wherever, and hey, we need 4 strippers for Snoop Dogg. Who's available?
Yeah, give me the eggs and legs special. Bring some of those famous strip club eggs.
and yeah, I don't understand why. I do understand why these shows need all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's contractually obligated. Like, hey, you've got $2 million to spend on your stage show.
Yeah, and there are ones like Rush's final concert. I'm sure that was a huge ordeal. I'm sure there was a lot of trucks. There was a lot of stuff going on. There were a lot of moving parts in that set. The set didn't necessarily need to be there.
Yeah,
but they were using the set to tell a story, which I've never seen in a concert before. Even their prior concerts, right? They had like interesting set designs.
Yeah.
But they were just trying to like set a mood or create an atmosphere. Whereas that final tour, the set was telling the story of the band as you watch the show, which was really, really cool.
Yeah.
You don't really see that with groups. That's just, we hang up the Kiss Nation banners because we always hang up the Kiss Nation banners. Now, of course, they're 80 feet above the stage where absolutely nobody can see them and nobody knows that they're there. But we had to go through the 20-minute process of hanging those fucking things. And why don't we just not do that?
Yeah,
but they'll never learn.
This big band, it was God, what's their name? The Lumineers. Yeah, the Lumineers.
I've heard that name before.
I think I had heard the name before out of context. I have no context. Probably just from like seeing the billboard outside the arena. They had a lift for the drummer. Like the drummer comes out like he's actually doing something in the show on a lift. Completely unnecessary. They had a VIP pit in the little diamond section.
Yeah.
So, show wraps up. We go out to take down the barricades and flip the subs and everything. And first of all, confetti. They were a confetti group, and the floor was littered in it. It was pink and blue, and it was just terrible. Because that stuff gets everywhere. And in fact, I had a guy, someone we worked with yesterday, was looking at the Marley for the show I was on yesterday when the Marley cart came in and found a piece of confetti and was just like, God damn it, there's going to be confetti.
You're like sniffing it out as it's coming in.
So there's like this VIP diamond pit section. And everyone is in there, like, the band is off the stage. They're still in there, like, taking selfies, laying on the floor with all the confetti to, like, post on Instagram. It was the dumbest thing I had seen in a long time.
I cannot wait for the day of transporters because I'm going to be a production manager on a tour, like a live tour, and be like, at the end of the show, the audience will be beamed out to the nearest parking lot.
Amazing.
Just fucking gone. Every fucking one of them just drunk
best.
and then stand outside. What the fuck? Where am I?
What you need then is you need a warehouse with like stacks of flooring. So then you beam the flooring off to get rid of all the beer spills and everything, and just beam a new floor on.
I mean, I would just phaser the floor,
or phaser the floor, I guess. Yeah,
disintegration, melt everything that's out there.
Yeah. Great idea.
Yeah, these tours, man, they pack as much shit in as they possibly can.
Well,
I gotta wonder how much, like I said, how much do you really need? Now, sure, when we saw Weird Al, he needed a different lighting guy and a better sound guy.
Yeah.
He should have just hired me. I could have done both of those jobs simultaneously better than whoever was doing both of those jobs individually.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't hate him as I do right now. But like he was literally sitting in a stool. He had the couple of other people playing with him standing around, and they played songs.
Yeah.
And everybody but me had a great time. And I've seen those kinds of things before. Like, I've even seen bands who have like a moderate amount of production that even still, you go see Styx or REO Speedwagon or like the old 80s glam rock bands, and sure, they'll have a video wall, they'll blow a confetti thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're up and walking around, like getting down with the crowd and that kind of shit. But they're not building out into the audience. They're not putting up tremendous amounts of like moving parts, because at the end of the day, okay, your tour has this huge diamond set. Well, you're spending $60,000 on labor for every stop at minimum.
Yeah.
Like we said, our prices in Tulsa are lower than the prices elsewhere. So you're spending $60,000 to stop on just labor. Then you have to transport all that shit in 24 trucks. Then you have to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're selling the tickets for basically the same price that the Eagles are going into that arena. What do the Eagles have? 12 trucks worth of shit, some truss, lighting, not much. And so where you're losing money because your show's not as good. Because you have to spend way more money to make the garbage you're selling look attractive, instead of a world where people with talent are in charge of things. Oh, they check out this dance move. They're doing dance moves in TikTok. We should put them in a fucking arena concert for some reason.
That's the craziest thing is there used to be some modicum of like a road to popularity.
Yeah.
Like sure there were instant stars, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But there used to be like a road you would go to, even like just as a like, well, I'm opening for a big band now, right?
Exactly.
Except like now the people that get like viral famous on their first single automatically go to open for bands in arenas.
Yes.
And not in, actual
not in small
venues. Yeah.
Yeah. That is exactly like you hear about the people that we consider classics, the Beatles, Rush, any of those groups from back in the day. And they started out, they'd play bars, then they'd work up to theaters. They got an agent who started booking them. They started opening for these people, and they like worked their way up until, we're on tour with Kiss. I think Rush was on tour with Kiss and was opening for Kiss. Yeah. And that was when they finally started to take off and they started to get radio play, and then they got to do their own concert tours. Whereas now you make a viral TikTok or YouTube video, some Sony or BMI producers are like, the kids love this. They put up a bunch more music videos to get people like it. And they're like, all right, we're gonna send this fucker on tour. It's like, well, everything that this needs to go on tour is like 24 backup dancers. Every one of those backup dancers has their demands for what they want, et cetera, et cetera. And so then it's like, well, now then we need staging and we need to be able to fill this gap while they change clothes, and like all these pieces get added on because there's no building to a point and there's no talent involved.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah,
it's immediately balls out.
Mm-hmm. And so you end up just wasting everyone's time.
Yeah.
That's the other thing about these concerts. Like, you go to a lot of concerts, Tim.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about the concert you're going to after a week?
The ones that stand out, you really remember.
See, that's what I remember the Rush concert.
Yeah.
And I don't remember every moment. But
no, of course not.
I just remember being entertained by it, right?
Yeah.
But then I also have similar memories of like when I saw Crash Test Dummies in concert. It was a good concert. I remember seeing it. That's it. Like I can't like go rewatch it in my head and be entertained again the way I can with a movie. But I can listen to all that music in my head, or even music videos. I can watch them in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like the concert's such a fleeting thing.
It is.
I don't understand why people are drawn to them. I mean, my stepmom she flew up. My sister and a friend flew from Tulsa, Oklahoma, to St. Louis, Missouri,
Uh-huh.
rented a car. They flew up Saturday morning, rented a car. We had lunch. They went to a concert that evening. They flew out Sunday morning. Like, why didn't you just drive?
Yeah.
It's 5 hours and 15 minutes or something. It's
As opposed
not
to, what is it, a 2-hour flight?
It's probably an hour flight, yeah, but then you have to do all the shit at the airport before and
Yeah.
after. So you probably save half the time, plus the cost of renting a car. I'm just like, this is so silly. And to see who, Tim? Kid Rock.
The show is over. I no longer associate with you or any of your family members.
And that's been it for Here's That. Oh, boy. Well, that's a great issue, Tim. Here's what I don't get. Early 2000s shaky cam. I watched all of Better Call Saul this year. The final season started, and so I started watching the show, and then they went on like a 12-week mid-season hiatus for no fucking reason. So I was pissed off about that, but I finished Better Call Saul, and I was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch Better Call Saul. I've watched that all this year. I'm going to rewatch all of Breaking Bad for only like it's only the third time I've seen the series.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to watch El Camino, and then I'm going to put a button on this and never watch any of this shit again.
Yeah.
Because I've said in the past, like, you could cut any of the scenes that don't have Jesse or Walt in them, just cut them right out of the show, and the show will get 10 times better. And I was wrong about that. I say I'm changing my tune. When I said that, I was short-sighted. I didn't really understand the complexity of what's going on in the series. What you should really do is cut any scene out of Breaking Bad that doesn't involve crimes. If they're not doing a crime or planning for a crime, making meth, selling meth, talking about making and or selling meth, killing someone, cleaning up bodies, cut that shit right on out. I don't need to see, Dad, I'm retarded. Yeah, I don't need any of that. I don't need his fucking cunt of a wife fucking talking to him about, Walt, you don't talk to me. You don't talk to me. Like, I wonder where Walt Jr. got his retard, you fucking bitch. I don't need his fat machismo brother-in-law being like, I'm a fucking hot shit, and then having a panic attack in an elevator. We can maybe see them investigating Heisenberg. Outside of that, fuck right off. We don't need the fucking sister-in-law. Fuck her to death. She's the worst part of Better Call Saul. She shows up in the last episode of Better Call Saul, and I was like, God damn it!
I didn't know she showed up in Better Call Saul.
Yeah, she's in the last episode of Better Call Saul. The last episode of Better Call Saul, the worst fucking episode of the series.
Really?
Yeah. If you ever watch Better Call Saul, Tim, here's what I'm going to tell you. There is an episode where he becomes Saul Goodman, and then the next episode is all a flash forward to his days as Gene Tekovic. Stop watching the show at that point. All that shit is fucking unnecessary. So anyway, started watching Breaking Bad, and you know what Breaking Bad has a lot of?
Early 2000s shaky cam.
A lot of shit like this. Just no matter what they're doing, and it was so prevalent in the early 2000s. Like, everyone was doing it. They were putting their camera in a mid zoom, and then they weren't putting it on any kind of stabilization platform. And so you end up with like what at the time they thought was a very naturalistic thing.
Yes. Documentary style.
Documentary style. Yeah. And they were so wrong. And I remember at the time, 24 did it, and 24 did it kind of well in that in a dialogue scene, it was a lot more subtle, but then it works in action. It gives you kind of the franticness of action. But in Breaking Bad, it's like they fucking put a camera. They gave a camera to a 10-year-old. This camera weighs like 75 pounds. Like, all right, put this in a mid zoom. You're gonna get right up his fucking nose hairs while he has this deeply personal conversation with his family, and then you just hold this. And then they started giving the kid shots every take.
Yeah.
So every take he's slightly more woozy than the last one until the whole fucking thing is shaking. Like, I just want to go in and add an image stabilization to the entire series because I think it would fix it.
Probably.
And it dates everything that you watch. Like, you put on a TV show and they're doing, and it's all fucking zoomed and shaky, and you're like, oh, this show was made in what, 2008, 2010? 2010, nailed it. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. I don't know You'd have to like do some research. I'm sure there's going to be some research at like a film school of someone who breaks this down, this whole trend of where it started and when it finally ended, because it does seem to have really been rolled back quite a bit. I think maybe it was replaced by ramping. Remember when everything had ramping
after 300 came out? Yeah,
yeah. It's just so visually tropey. It is. Oh God! There are times when I'm watching Breaking Bad and I'm literally sitting on the sofa with my hand over my eyes because it's making me sick to my stomach to watch the show.
So the one I always hear about being the progenitor of the like mass move to shaky cam was the Bourne Identity.
That's a great point. Yeah, those movies were. It's funny how movies seem. Strong until they replaced. Like Taken was a lot like that, where it was very visceral and gritty.
Yeah,
and then you go back and watch it now with things like John Wick and Nobody, with their kind of wider shots, very simple camera movement, and the choreography is what's
extremely good choreography.
is whereas they like had very weak choreography in Taken and Bourne Identity, but the camera moved so much that it felt frenzied.
Yeah,
and yeah, those have become unwatchable movies. The Bourne trilogy, especially, really enjoyed those movies at the time. I thought that they were not the apex of action cinema, but they were definitely a high level action cinema.
We rewatched the first one sometime this year.
We watched all three, I think.
No.
Yeah.
No, just well.
We watched at least one of them.
We watched it.
I think we watched a couple of them.
Huh.
Anyway, yeah. I remember when we rewatched them and we were wow, this is not as good as I remember.
No, but what I recall, and I might be wrong, but I think they had their own ramp up of shaky cam. Like the first one, you can go back to it and be like, oh, I can see like kind of where people got the idea for it.
Yeah.
And then like, what is it? Supremacy and Ultimatum, like just take it to extremes.
Yeah, and then the Jason Bourne. I haven't seen the one with Jeremy Renner, but the Jason.
I saw the one
movie,
with Jeremy Renner. It was I couldn't tell you a thing that happened in it.
Yeah, the Jason Bourne movie is terrible.
The fourth one.
It's like they took bits of all the other Jason Bourne movies and then stitched them together into one film, and so it's like thematically it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Plot wise, it's not good. Matt Damon seems to be phoning it in, and then you have all of these like now dated filming techniques being pushed into it, and it was a bore. Is the only way I can describe that movie. I really want to know. I really want to know who was standing on a movie set. You know, someone was shooting some test footage at one point, and they were like, "This looks great." It's like, oh shit, I forgot my gimbal. It's fine. We'll just shoot this, and we'll just put an image stabilizer on in Adobe. And then the director's sitting there before the guy like puts the image stabilization on, and he's like, "Whoa, I love this. We're shooting the whole." Famously, J.K. Abrams, the ruiner of Star Trek and Star Wars. Have you ever seen the behind the scenes footage from his first Star Trek movie?
No.
So that movie is littered with shaky cam, and it started the lens flare trope. But the shaky cam in that movie is so bad because J.J. Abrams stood behind the cameraman on the back of the film canister that's attached. I don't remember what those are called.
Film canister.
And just thumps it between his thumb and finger while they're filming it, thus shaking the camera a little bit and rattling the film as it runs through and that's how they got their
actual shaky cam.
Actual shaky cam. A man, go look it up. I swear to God, some Star Trek 2009 behind the scenes, and you'll see him standing back there doing that. And then because all that looks so, and it's funny because in the behind the scenes, they're like, they try and church it up. But because the filming looks so shitty, when they did all the visual effects, they had to figure out how to make the visual effects do that because it was very jarring to cut from this fucking terrible filming of dialogue. We're trying to have a nice conversation about how Spock and Uhura love one another. Oh my God, it's an earthquake. And then they cut to a fucking stock still footage of the Enterprise just sailing through space.
Oh man,
The guy who's fucking ruined movies.
Yeah,
he should be executed right next to fucking Anthony Fauci. Murderer of culture, murderer of society. You can pick one. Which one's which? As a filmmaker, you should be very conscientious of these tropes, because I think the media that matters, the stuff that people love to watch, is timeless.
Yeah.
Like I watched Jay and Rich on Red Letter Media did a review of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly earlier this week, and I watched it, and I've seen that movie, and now I want to watch it again because they showed the 4K capture, and it looks gorgeous. The last time I watched it, it was like a 720p torrent that I downloaded to watch with someone's grandfather, and it's a good, but it looks fucking incredible at the footage they were showing on
a lot of old westerns too, because they were shot on actual film, and on big film, because like one of the tropes of westerns is like the huge landscape thing.
Yeah,
and so you need that huge film to capture that.
Yeah, and so watching their review, and they're showing that movie. I mean, obviously it was made in the 60s, but it looks like it could be made today, because it was not tropey. It wasn't filmed to look bad, and so those movies that just end up being timeless, especially something that's maybe not set in a time period, or something that's sci-fi will do this a lot, where Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home is kind of a timeless movie. Yeah, it takes place in the 80s, which at the time was present day, but it could just as easily, you watch it today and it was set in the past. And I think that people, I'm speaking out of turn, but John Wick, I think, is going to be one of these movies that ends up kind of being timeless. The Matrix is timeless.
Yes.
Despite the fact that it was very predicated on needing to have the social structure and trends of the late 1990s, early 2000s. And it's groundbreaking in the way that it shot what it was, its subject matter. It ends up being timeless because there's nothing in there that makes you think, oh, this is obviously in the 1990s. Yeah, they're in all leather and they're like listening to techno music and stuff, but there are so many factors that make it just live its whole own life. And I don't think people love Breaking Bad. I think they're all wrong. It's a good series. I don't think it's a great series. I think in another 5 years, 10 years, people are going to be not talking about Breaking Bad anymore, because one, Better Call Saul is a lot better, but Better Call Saul is filmed to not look dated. It's even set in the late 90s, early 2000s, I guess. But aside from the fact that they're all using old cell phones, there's really nothing that makes you say, oh, this is a period piece, even though it technically is. And so I don't know. I would encourage people who are wanting to make movies to think about that and go, like, let's make something that is, let's not like lean into these tropes and try and make something. Because like the shaky cam, like I said, it could work in an action scene when they're like running from other drug dealers, or when he's like strangling the guy to death with the bike lock. That's a good use of shaky cam.
Yeah. When
they're having an intervention in his house and they're like, well, we all care about you. Not a great time for shaky cam. It's a great time for a lockdown wide shot, or nice, like, kind of moving shot around them to kind of reveal everyone talking to him. But
isn't that intervention scene also, aren't they trying to give him an intervention because they think he's smoking too much pot?
No, that's because he won't get the cancer treatment.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I got about that far, and I was like, yeah, I don't need any of this information in this series. It's so great. I just it'll be like it'll be an establishing shot of Skylar, and I'm like, is she gonna be talking to Walt? Nope. Skip. There's Walt and Jesse. All right, here we go. Let's watch the rest of this. There was one episode that I skipped like half the episode.
Man,
because even the Jesse and Walt stuff was all like family drama. Like, I'm not fucking interested in any of this.
This is the episode where Marie is stealing things.
Let's skip through all that shit.
The every time when I watch an episode and anytime I think about it, I'm only reminded of the episode of Family Guy where Lois is stealing things.
Mm-hmm.
It's the exact same plot.
Yeah, except Family Guy probably did it better
Probably.
because Lois isn't a cunt most of the time. Well, that brings us to the middle of our episode, which means it's time for.
This episode is brought to you in part by the Ricada News Network. Definitely not fake news.
Well, Tim, what news do we have today?
Our first news story comes to us from a brand. This is from Miller High Life.
My brand.
Miller High Life, makers of insert adjective here beer. They have partnered with Tipsy Scoop, which is an alcohol-infused ice cream maker, to create an ice cream flavor that tastes like
Their beer?
a dive bar. So it's premium ice cream infused with Miller High Life beer and peanuts, because, bar peanuts.
Okay.
Tobacco smoke flavoring, because it's a dive bar.
Urinal cake.
Caramel sauce to recreate the sticky floors of a dive bar. Carbonated candy to replicate the beer fizz. And dark chocolate, which resembles the dark wood of the bar and dim lighting of a dive bar. They say it's a perfect blend of smoky vanilla, gooey caramel, and the beer you love. They're also up to 5% alcohol by volume. They're bars.
The
Ice
cream's 5%?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You mean I can get drunk without you having to drink the beer? It's no course, but it'll do.
Yeah. Dive Bar is really low on my list of wanted ice cream flavors.
Yeah, but it is high on your list of parodies of the song "Gay Bar" you want to have.
Yeah, I want to take you to a
Go
dive
to
bar.
Dive bar, dive bar. Yeah, everyone singing it to yourself.
Sure, yeah, sure. We can't afford the copyright
licensing.
strike. Yeah. Well, our next news story comes to us from Aurora, Colorado.
Home of the Joker.
Oh, okay. My mind went. Is that not set in Gotham? And then is that Joaquin Phoenix's birthday? And then okay, I get it. Well, speaking of crimes in Aurora, the police had a standoff there at a home. Someone called and said that their front door had been kicked in. So the police showed up. They contacted the guy who they believed was doing it. He was wanted for 2 outstanding arrest warrants, one for escape from the Department of Corrections and another for possession of a firearm as a felon. They contacted him at about 3 p.m. So 2 p.m. they got there. 3 p.m. they get a hold of him. He indicates he is inside the house. They negotiate with him to give himself up, but he would not. At about 4 p.m., communication was ended. Then they began using their big old speakers to tell him to come out. He didn't. At about 7 p.m., police canceled the orders for the surrounding neighbors to stay inside because the man was never inside the house.
Fucking cops having a standoff with an empty house.
It's amazing.
You gotta imagine, right? That they're there with the bullhorn. They're like, "Sir, please come out. We won't harm you." And someone's like, "Hey, do we even know that the guy's in there?" Like, well, of course he's fucking in there. Someone talked to him, right? I think Simmons talked to him. Simmons like, I didn't talk to him. I thought you talked to him. Someone just walks in there like, "Excuse me. Hey, is anybody here?" He walks, he disappears inside the door, comes back out like, "House empty. House empty, guys. Pack it in."
We've wasted enough 5 hours. Yeah, they wasted 5 hours of taxpayer money.
Yeah,
on an empty house.
You gotta. I mean, I don't know what those cops make hourly. You got to figure like $40 an hour or something.
Sure.
plus the cost of equipment, and I'm sure not a one of them turned their car off while they were sitting there, because why would you? That's some funny shit.
Yeah. I might have a possible update or not. I'm trying to remember if we actually ran this as a news story recently. You tell me by the headline. Have we ever talked about? Did we talk about San Francisco's expensive designer trash cans?
We did not.
Okay, so in 2018, San Francisco decided, hey, we need to replace all of our 3,000 public trash cans in the city. So they took a bunch of design, like people sent in, they got firms to like, hey, design us a new trash can, right? So for the last 3.5 years, they've spent $500,000 on this project, with the criteria that the trash cans were innovative. Quote, each can must be outfitted with an electronic sensor that sends alerts when nearing trash capacity so it can be emptied before overflowing. Because I don't know if you've ever seen San Francisco, but apparently they just have an overflowing trash can problem. Aesthetics were very important. The design must be a visual asset on the sidewalk. And of course, above all, rummage resistance. So
Because of all the raccoons?
yeah, all the human-looking raccoons.
Those devious raccoons.
Yeah. So last month they rolled out 3 custom-made prototypes of the 3 finalists. The production of each of these prototypes cost between $11,000 and $20,000 per trash can.
$11,000 and $20,000.
That's the range per trash can.
Jesus
of these.
Christ.
These are the 3 finalist prototypes. They all look terrible. Well, okay, one of them looked like it might be a trash can. The other 2, one of them looks like a salt and pepper grinder. The other one looks like a lighter.
Just fucking leave your regular ass trash cans up there. Just a bin. And people put the trash in there.
Yeah.
And take the additional $19,000 and send trash man around every day.
Yeah. You would think that would be an option.
You're talking about. I don't know what. In downtown Tulsa, there's like a trash can at every intersection, sometimes 2.
Yeah.
And that's just downtown, which is probably like, I don't know, 20 square blocks, 25 square blocks. So you're talking about, I don't even fucking know math, 100 trash cans downtown. That is $1 million to put trash cans in downtown Tulsa. Now, San Francisco is a lot fucking bigger than that. That's for the cheap trash can.
Yeah.
The $11,000 trash can. Fucking Christ. Just send a trash man around to empty the fucking trash cans once in a while. Oh yeah, alert! We got to go to 3rd and Denver to empty that trash can. Like, fucking just go empty all of them.
Well, some people
We
went
got to
around...
build a fucking wall around California. We got to keep those fucking people. Just no more plane flights. You guys are locked down. Fucking deal with yourselves and your random weird shit.
Mm-hmm. So they put the 3 prototypes of these trash cans. They distributed them around the city with QR codes that you can like take a picture of and then like type in, "Hey, this is a good trash can," I guess. Mm-hmm. They're doing this for 60 days, but they also planted all across the city 3 off-the-shelf models that cost between $600 and $2,000.
Where are they buying these trash cans?
I don't know.
The trash can I have in there was like $11. One of those big fucking jobs that like they pick up the trash man. You go to Lowe's and buy one of those. It's like $60. Where are they buying $600 trash cans?
And those are the cheap ones.
God damn. That's like where's my taxpayer money going? There's no way this trash can cost $600. Not a fucking chance.
It's got to be the same thing as like military spending, where like a bolt.
No, here's what I'm thinking it is, Tim. It's right, right. I am Tab. I'm from Plastic Stand, right?
Yeah.
We're buying trash cans now. Tim, you're my friend, but also a trash can supplier. I'm like,
okay.
Hey Tim, I gotta buy some trash cans what do those trash cans cost? And you're like, they normally cost $300, but since we're friends, I'll do it for $600.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you take the $600, you buy a $300 trash can, you give that to me, and then you and I split the $300 and put it in our own fucking pockets. That's
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah.
That's the only way to explain this madness.
Well, we got one last news story in Towie, you're gonna have to change your name because of this news story. Probably to like Nostradamus. Because the city of Miami commissioners voted this week to pursue a pilot program to build a designated zone for people experiencing homelessness.
Oh my god! They're fucking building sanctuary districts from Star Trek. Incredible.
The program calls for the construction of 50 to 100 tiny homes on Virginia Key, which is an 863-acre barriered island.
They're shipping the homeless out to an island. Get your fucking asses on the island. We're lifting the bridges.
Currently, it's home to a summer camp for kids, a sewage plant, and
You guys get to live in a toilet. You get to live in a literal toilet of Florida. You fucking worthless raccoons.
they're calling it a, quote, transition zone, and that it would provide...
Transitioning to the ocean. Hey, you've been in your tiny home for 6 months now. You got a job? Sure don't. Welcome to the ocean, motherfucker.
Yeah. They say they would provide housing, food, showers, and outreach services for the homeless population. My favorite part of this whole story is this is a quote from a commissioner. This is I want to know what the question was, or if it was unprompted. I really wish there was like some sort of like local government video of this, of him saying this, because. Quote, in my opinion, this is not an encampment that is going to be a concentration camp.
If you have to use the word concentration camp to explain why something is not a concentration camp, you are massively fucking up, man. No, it's totally not a concentration camp. We're just going to take all these homeless people and collect them into one area where there will be a higher per capita grouping than there is in other areas.
Yep. Nobody's forcing anybody. Is the rest of that quote.
Nobody's forcing anybody, but if you don't get on the train, we're going to you can get this mass grave or you can get on the train. Really, the choice is yours.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That is... I'm moving to Florida. Sounds great.
Man.
Tragic nuclear island destroys homeless. Shit. That's gonna, in like 10 years, we're gonna find out there was some really awful shit done at home.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not like by the government, just like, oh yeah, rapes and murders are through the roof on homeless island. Keep killing one another. Well, this has been
the Ricada News Network. Definitely not fake news.
Well, that takes care of our legal obligations, Tim, but you know what doesn't take care of?
What?
Selling licenses for hunting on Homeless Island.
Yeah.
If you want to visit Homeless Island and hunt some people, you can visit us at patreon.com/HWIDG, which stands for
Here's What I Don't Get,
which is the name of the show. And over there, we have 5 tiers for the next 12 hours. And with them, you can get, with the $1 tier, early access to the show. The $2 tier, some random bit. You know, I haven't edited and released that Prey review we did. I need to do that. I'll try and do that tonight while I'm sitting around doing nothing at work. We are a $5 tier. We do our monthly bonus episodes. Here's what I do get. Then we have our $10 tier where you, the fans, get a say in the show. You decide on, or you get, no, sorry, $10 tier, we do a movie commentary and you get to vote and decide what we watch. And then finally, a $50 tier where you get a say in the show. And there's what might be the last Spite Producer request is to keep the feed up and start releasing things free to everyone. So the feeds will stay alive. Everybody who wants to keep listening or re-listen to the show, all courtesy of AGSYZ, I believe. Yes. I never remember what order those letters go in. and I haven't been able to figure out if it's supposed to say something. Axes. I don't know. Anyway, well, Tim, what is your second issue this week?
Here's what I don't get. It's a little bit of inside baseball. Issues. For the last 240 something odd episodes, we've come here weekly. Roughly 2 issues a piece. I'm going to say it's probably, I don't think it's even out to 2.
Actually, on average, I think every episode has like 3 3/4 issues per week.
There,
Tim,
yeah,
as of episode 299, do you know how many issues we've done
how many?
before episode? So 1 through 298, we've
Okay.
done 1,161 issues.
That's a lot of issues.
It's a lot of issues.
Tab, if you were, let's say, let's call it 7 years ago.
Mhm.
Do you think you could have given someone 1,160 something issues off the top of your head?
Definitely not.
No.
What's
Uh,
funny is now that the show is kind of coming to an end, like I had a huge list of issues to choose from this week. I'm just like that's a good issue. That's a good issue. That's a good issue. That's a good issue. And like there have been weeks where it's like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. Kind of
Yes.
making it up as you go, and so it's just like the last bit of inspiration.
Yeah, I guess that always happens.
Yeah.
You know, anything you do creative, it you're watching the final product, or maybe you're almost at the final product. You're like, oh, we could add this if only we had the time, or we really should have done X instead of Y. That's how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to like sort of reminisce about the sort of like the weekly prep we've had to do. Well, yeah, like you said, there's some weeks where it's like I haven't done shit. I gotta like find something to bitch about.
Yeah.
And that's never fun. I think it's always best when you come in with a loaded
Fired
gun.
up hot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, fired up hot with a loaded gun. I've loved it. I know it does come through in audio and in video, but there have been some truly. I want to thank you for some truly epic rants. The kind that there's been like I'd say like a handful on the show.
Mhm.
The kind that usually only I get to see in person.
Yeah.
The iPad one.
I'm dealing with a Mac computer at work right now, and it's the little things that drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Like, so for whatever reason, I don't know why, Mac made the command button do what the control button does on a PC.
Yeah, and it's one over.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's in where the Windows key is on a real
Yeah.
keyboard. And so I have a mechanical keyboard, and I have to hit the Windows key to copy paste. And with that mechanical keyboard comes with a software that I can remap all the keys that I want on my Windows PC. Can't do it on because they don't make a Mac version, because they're like, what person who would use a mechanical keyboard would also be so retarded as
Yeah.
to buy a Mac computer?
Yeah.
And so I'm just trapped in this terrible ecosystem. But then I'm clicking around, and I find you can remap the buttons on a Mac computer. You
Yeah.
can remap the command button to the control button. I'm like, perfect. Now I can make the keyboard work the way I want to. And it works great. In Excel, I can control copy, control paste. Great. You know where it doesn't work?
Chrome.
Web browsers. Yeah. Doesn't work in Safari, doesn't work in Chrome, doesn't work in Brave. You want to use the key remapping? It's like Nintendo with their software where you can remap their controllers,
Mhm.
but you can only do it on native Nintendo controllers. You can't do it on any aftermarket controllers, just
Yeah.
because fuck you. You
Yes,
should have
yeah.
you should have spent the $70 on the Nintendo one, not the Hori Split Pad Pro that's way more comfortable than our shitty Joy-Cons. Fuck you very much.
Oh, by the way, they're making a new one of those.
A new Switch.
Totally off topic. No, new Hori split pad.
Okay, cool. Maybe it'll come with a battery, a built-in
Maybe.
battery, and work like, because I think now they're like really talking, whereas when they first came out, it was like Hori just made those,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
now I think they're Nintendo licensed.
Huh.
Anyway, I'm so sick of Mac computers. I fucking hate them. I was so pissed that day with that iPad. It was really lucky that iPad made it back to work because I was gonna just spike it into the ground.
It was amazing. I'm trying to remember if this was not on the show, but I remember when you this was not on the show. The printers,
Yes.
and you destroyed the printer you had,
Yes.
and there were, I mean, you could see there were blood stains on the wall.
It's funny is there was I had a picture of myself and there was like a splatter of printer ink across my face, like I had slit someone's throat, and there was printer ink splattered all over the wall too, where I had just I office spaced that printer. Yeah. I definitely probably have some amount of anger issues.
So there was Jonathan D said, I shudder to think what's going to happen to St. Louis now that Tab doesn't have an outlet for his rage.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It has been fun. It's been fun to see the show change over the years. As I listened to the show when it first started, when it was Uncle Buck and Joel Chaco doing it, and I loved they kind of picked up the old Biggest Problem format and ran with it. Biggest Problem is on the air. I loved it because I felt like they both articulated from time to time things that bothered me that no one ever really talked about.
Yeah.
Because it's those little things that just annoy you. And it's not really quantifiable. And so when I came to the show, I tried to just talk about those normal things, those things that happen to me in everyday life that just viscerally irritate me. And even though they shouldn't. And when you get like enough of them piled up, then you lose it. Like the people who fucking can't set their cruise control while they're driving the early 2000s shaking cam. There's a huge list of, like I said, it's a 1,161 plus whatever we did last week, and plus these 4.
Yeah. Hold on.
Plus the mini issues that are not accounted for on the archive. Plus,
I just got an Audacity error.
Uh-oh.
And it is not responding.
Pause on the show.
Yeah. Okay.
God damn it. I had to send this email today that was like, hey, do you guys have a solution to this major problem with your show that we talked about Sunday? I'm going out of town on Thursday. I'm not going to be reachable to workshop this problem with you people. I had to send that email to get them to schedule a meeting to come up with a solution. It's not my job, man. I hope we just end up kicking these people out. It's an embarrassment.
Okay, I have the last 45 seconds or so of recording.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, we got to hope that the StreamYard version works.
Great. Thank you, Audacity.
Yeah. Plus, I have a recording of you through StreamYard, so I've got it recorded twice. We'll make it work.
Cool.
Anyway, but yeah, all these issues. I don't know. I hope they've brought that level of like, not joy, but just a feeling that you're not alone or crazy for hating something.
Yeah.
One of the things I remember most fondly about Biggest Problem is that I hate monkeys. I unironically Tab Burt hate monkeys. And when Maddox brought in monkeys, I was like 100%. He made a terrible argument for why monkeys were worthless, but I just hate monkeys. And so I loved like listening to that episode, listening to those like minor complaints, Dick complaining about piss driblets on his pants. It's like, yeah, it's basically nothing, but it is like you walk out of the bathroom and you got this big fucking piss spot on your pants because like there was still some hiding in the chamber. Makes you
that almost sounds like a Seinfeld episode.
That was why it was the Seinfeld of podcasts.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just kept listening to that. I listened to Biggest Problem over and over and over again. I don't know if anybody's listened to this show in that same way, but I'm thankful to everyone who's listened to it. I love the voicemailers you call in with their
Yeah.
like little things and getting to talk about that. There's, the news. Would bring in the news, and it would be some minuscule thing that then sets off a discussion that's maybe sometimes funny, sometimes angry, sometimes unrelated. It's been a fun show. It's been,
and that is kind of like how like our hangouts go, really. Which I always thought like bringing that into the show. I mean, our relationship being what it is really, I think, one of the reasons why
the show works.
The show works, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because Tim and I, before we did the podcast, like we would just get together and hang out on a day. We like go to Vintage Stock or go to, just kind of fucking drive around town, fuck around, and we'd be talking about movies or comics or whatever video game we were playing or complaining about this or that.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like this format, but
no,
it was those conversations almost became this format.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that if you or I would have ever been like, oh, those conversations we have while we're driving around town, like that could be a podcast.
No.
But it just so happened that like that's what it evolved into.
Yeah. I remember this was years ago. I brought in, I'm trying to remember what I called the issue, but I was rejoicing the death of a comic book artist I hated.
Yeah.
And I'm not really one to rejoice in anyone's death ever. Usually.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny because like there's been a couple of big comic book artists or writers that have passed away in the last couple of months, and I see like everyone just gives them praise because they were good, and everyone's like, oh, we lost this person, and here's like some of his art, he was so good, but I never see anyone being like, I hated this dude, and here's like a compilation of like the worst things he's put on page that has ever been printed. I like, other than like Rob Liefeld, who gets his like the top 40 worst Rob Liefeld pictures, that he will take that and like retweet it and be like, man, look at my funny stuff. So you can't really do it to him. Yeah.
Well, like isn't one of the Deadpool movies, they make a joke about that. They're like, boy, this thing doesn't make any sense. Like it was drawn by someone who doesn't know how to draw feet.
Yeah. But like he's in that shot in the bar or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like no one else is. But no one is. And I know people do have like hate in their hearts for certain things.
They're just unwilling to say it.
They're unwilling to say it. Yeah. Or especially unwilling to type it out and put it on a major news blog or whatever.
Well, and there's all that like reverence for, we have to remember fondly the dead.
Yeah.
And like if someone's was a huge piece of shit and then dies, that doesn't stop them from suddenly they don't suddenly stop being a huge piece of shit. Like,
well, I mean they do, but that's because they're no longer living.
Yeah, like they're still guilty of whatever things made them pieces of shit back in the day.
Yeah.
Because but we honor them, and I don't know. I think you and I have never really had reverence for anything. Like there are definitely things we like. There's definitely things that hold up, but we've never like classified something as being untouchable.
Yes, yeah,
and especially as a sense of humor. Like if we're not when you, me, and Truckin' and Tuckin' get together, like we are constantly zinging one another. We're constantly like making gay jokes about the other one, and then the other person will pivot it into the third person, and like that. It's because no one's going to have their feelings hurt.
No.
When we can talk about, I can talk about how great Star Trek is, but then I can also sit down here and be like, all these episodes of Star Trek are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
This is stupid. This is stupid. This is stupid. Like, I do love the show, but it's not above reproach.
Yeah.
And we can disagree. We don't disagree much on the show, but we disagree about some stuff. And like we've been friends for fucking 15 years or something now.
Yeah, something like that.
It's not gonna
most of our lives.
most of our lives, basically. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll miss it.
Me too.
I enjoy it, and not really. Not even just the show. I tell you what I really miss, especially right now in the virtual space, is I really enjoyed that we would go, like, I would pick you up. We'd be going to my place or Todd's place, or we'd have finished recording, and then you and I would usually go get lunch or dinner or whatever. We'd eat a meal as part of kind of the day's events of recording. And like that, it was, I mean, we were basically at that point getting like, we did the show, but then we were getting paid to hang out.
Yeah. And we'd still have like plenty to talk
plenty
about.
of shit to talk about, just completely unrelated to whatever we. Yeah. That's the other thing. People like, you guys don't listen to the show. I think that it's not so much we don't listen to the show. It's that like there's such a huge volume. There is
a pre-show and a post-show that is not recorded.
Yeah, and we will like intentionally not talk about whatever. Oh, hey, how's it going? What's going on? Like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. I'm gonna talk about it on the show.
Save it for the show. Yeah,
save it for the show. And then after the show, it's like all that shit's just out of the system.
Yep.
And then it's just like we're at dinner or we're driving home, and it's just like talking about fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been playing Mafia. How are you liking it? That was pretty good. Better than The Godfather. But yeah, that's a good issue, Tim.
Thank you.
Well, here's my final issue. It's not going to be nearly as poignant. Here's what I don't get: male sexual assault.
Okay.
Males can get sexually assaulted too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but society does not give a single fuck.
No.
It's always about like how a man, he was too, he was like too. We got drunk. We went to a party. We both got drunk, and then we went back to his place and started having sex. I didn't say no, and then either midway through or afterwards, I was like, I didn't really enjoy that. I was raped, but like, I was sexually assaulted every day in high school, and Tim laughed at me. Because it's not. People think assault is like you got punched in the face. That's assault. Assault is the threat. Battery
is the physical.
The victimization. I was sexually assaulted almost every day by a woman.
Yeah.
In a group of peers, and everyone thought, oh, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Isn't it hilarious how this crazy bitch treats Tab? So funny. Let's all laugh. The teacher's laughing. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, if the roles were reversed and I was making those same kind of comments, I'd be fucking pulled aside and sent to the principal's office. Like, you can't make fucking leering comments like that in the middle of class. But you're talking to a woman. Like a woman's talking to a man, totally okay. Tab obviously very uncomfortable with the words that are being said here. Obviously retreating into himself rather than engaging with the conversation, which is not his normal method of behavior.
No.
But let's all just keep laughing because it's so goddamn funny. Fuck every one of you, Tim. This is all gonna sting. Fuck you, Tim. I'm fucking coming for you. I've been bottling this in for 15 years, you son of a bitch, and now you're gonna pay for it. You know the AT&T internet you had installed?
Yeah.
It's not AT&T internet. It's an explosive device, and now I'm blowing it up. So I've been dealing with Title IX training this week, and it's not like they do acknowledge that a male can be sexually assaulted, but they kind of stop short of it happening.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, there are all these resources. And part of my problem with it is that like there are a lot of resources. Sure. The resources are largely focused on women. If you're a homeless man, it is almost impossible to find a place to stay because all the shelters that will accept men are constantly full. And it's like a 5-to-1 ratio of women's shelters to men's shelters.
Yes.
And the same thing with sexual assault counseling. I was sexually assaulted in college. You know what came of it? The girl I was dating decided to split up with me because she was worried that like I was into weird shit. I was groped. Now, do I fucking walk around every day being like, I was sexually harassed in high school. I was groped when I was in college. I've had these terrible things happen to me. No, because I'm not a fucking whiny bitch. I'm a man. I'm a man that fucking deals with my problems by bottling it up and then shouting at some random person on the street.
Yeah.
I'm not one to like hear all my victim points. Let me lay them out. I've always been one to stand on my own 2 fucking feet and take care of myself. But fucking Christ, if it's not that's not the world anymore. Someone I was talking to, so last weekend I was in Tulsa. No, the weekend before last, I was in Tulsa and I was, I was visiting for a friend's anniversary party and I was meeting an old friend of his and we were talking, like we got to talking about some different things and I started kind of talking about some of the things that I do that are not my job, the things that I'm interested in that I've worked on. And he's like, you're like a modern day Renaissance man. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'm trying to be, I don't know, whatever idealized version of manliness I think that I should be based on my youthful experience of what I've seen in movies. And you know what? That seems to be fucking working.
Yeah.
So instead of people wandering around complaining about all the terrible things that happened to them, I had this terrible experience. I'm so sad. Fucking running out of the room, this little terribly acted drama to be like, this is a sexual assault. And actors get up there and they're like, I'm gonna grope you. Oh my God. Oh, was this rape good or bad? Was this good or bad touching? And then like people being like, oh, I'm so traumatized. I have to leave. Oh, like fucking deal with it, man. Fucking get your emotions in order. Find some self-control. It's not your fucking fault. And move on with your life. But we can't fucking do that anymore. I'm sitting there watching this stuff, and most of the stuff I've put out of my head. Like it's things that happen to me. It doesn't define me. It doesn't matter. It's just if anything, I see the humor. I see why people thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was funny now. I didn't think it was funny then. I didn't really appreciate it. But I understand why it was humorous. I'm not angry at the people that laugh. I'm not angry at you. I'm not angry at the teachers. I'm not angry at our peers. I'm not even really angry at the person. It's been, was fucking 14 years now since we, were in high school.
Yeah.
Something 13 years, however fucking long it's been since we were in high school. Like, that's all. None of that matters. Nothing I did in high school matters. Nothing I did in college matters. The only thing that really matters is what I'm going to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
And nobody lives like that anymore. Now you have to live in the past and live in the, I had this terrible thing. I'm a victim of this. I'm not a victim. I'm a person who had some bad luck a couple of times. We've all had bad luck a couple of times. We've all been on the edge. I think if you've listened to this show for any amount of time, you have a pretty good grasp of who I am.
Yeah.
It's not a character. It's not, this show is all the person that I am on this show has always been me in almost its purest form, because it doesn't have any of the facade that I put on to be in a professional setting. It doesn't have any facade I put on to be in, when I meet strangers. This is like when I'm sitting at home and I'm watching Breaking Bad and I'm just like, why the fuck can they not hold the fucking camera still for this nice dialogue scene? That's what I'm doing at home. I'm sitting on the sofa over there and that's how angry I am.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're teaching kids. We're teaching kids to live in the past and harp on this. And I'm not saying that like therapy doesn't work or you shouldn't go to a counselor if that's what you want to do. But at a certain point, you just have to kind of like put that shit in your back pocket and be like, you're not getting any, you can't get anywhere looking in the rear view mirror. Not to be like a fucking back to school special, but
Sure.
you can only drive in reverse for so long. You gotta fucking keep yourself moving forward. Forgive yourself for whatever happened. Don't associate with the people that created terrible things, and learn from your mistakes. Don't put yourself in the same kinds of situations. And so, as a male victim of sexual assault, I will say that I am very disappointed in the rest of the planet for how we're fucking just harping on this shit.
Yeah. Because at a certain point, you get assaulted, it's on the other person.
Yeah.
You let it fester, it's on
then
you.
It's on you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have talked about this person a handful of times over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And I joked about when I was in Colorado last year, and like we stopped in the town that I think you told me she lives in.
Yeah.
And I was fucking like filling up the car with gas, and like I went in to get coffee at the coffee place, and I'm like surveying the entire site before I walk in. And I like walk in and I'm looking around. I was fully ready to just sprint out of there and slide across the hood, start it up, and feel ass, and not fucking stop again until I was in Wyoming. So I mean, I guess there's trauma there. That's not the rational way to treat a town in a state that I've never been to.
No, it's not.
But like, it doesn't affect my everyday life.
Yeah.
Fucking move on. I guess that's my point. Move on. Be stronger. Be better. Don't be a little bitch. So anyway, well, that's my issue. Male sexual assault. I don't get it. I thought you wanted it. That's really what it comes down to. I thought all men were all horny all the time.
Yeah. That's why.
Why would you you can just get it from this bitch anytime? It's like that should be good news to you, even though she's a fucking lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, well, this has been Here's What I Don't Get. I'm Tab Burt.
I'm Tim the Handlebreaker.
Catch you. Holy shit. We, if you want to call in the Here's Got Hotline, call us at 704-750-9434 and tell us what you don't get. Or you can leave us a voicemail on our Discord channel, which Andy did this week, as well as I think leaving about 27. We have 31 voicemails in the voicemail hotline. So this is going to be a long segment.
Buckle in, folks.
This is Ninja. Andy said, this clip shows what I was talking about with my don't get about Carl's ads. So on last week's episode, when we had the call-in extravaganza,
Mm-hmm.
he was talking about the targeted ads on the WATP feed and how it's all been broken. This is, I guess, one of the ads that he's getting.
This ad features a fictional business. Terms and cap apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/bluebusinesscash.
Help Jews in poverty at helpjewsnow.org. Your $25 gift today will help provide a life-saving food box to Jews in need. Be a blessing right now. Visit helpjewsnow.org. That's helpjewsnow.org.
Episode 3.
So
You know what? I miss painting.
that's the opening of
What a dick.
WATP. I don't think Carl's fans are going to be helping any Jews anytime ever.
I believe that was called Mr. Ed Starts a Nonprofit.
All right. So over to the voicemail hotline. I'm going to take these in kind of not the order that they received.
Yeah, so this is about that zipper car thing. If you really want to be a nice guy on the road, all you got to do is when you're at the front of a line and at a stoplight, watch the fucking stoplight and go when it turns green. It makes me so fucking infuriated when we have to wait half of the goddamn light for the person in front to realize that it's time to fucking go. Don't be that guy.
Yeah, that's too true. Although you can't do that in St. Louis because people run red lights all the time and they will kill you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have never seen more red lights run in my entire life.
Wow.
Here's one from Andy.
Here's what I don't get. In Season 4, Episode 26 of the classic American documentary series, Mr. Ed, a mischievous, ethereal Martian starts controlling the minds of Wilbur, Gordon, and the General, making them act like deviants to the horror of their family and friends. Now, while I do understand that the Martian is an allegory for the government mind control that is going on in the 60s and even still today, what I don't get is that Ed is barely in this episode and contributes absolutely nothing to the plot. This would be like if in the Diary of Anne Frank, a random entire episode of the classic American World War II documentary series Hogan's Heroes was inserted. Stick to the factual accounts of St. Edward Aquinas and leave out all this baloney.
I do hate that when it's almost like sounds like a backdoor pilot. We make an episode about nothing just to, like, if you did a whole episode of a show about two people trying to make them sell meth, and then like the whole episode is about them trying to kill a fly.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't get: the car is broken down. The wolves are chasing me. My asteroid has turned into glue. I have turned into glue. My eyes are glue. My hands are glue. The wolves are glue. The planet is glue. Glue is glue. Please help. The glue is turning. I melted.
Okay, then. Don't know what to say about that one.
No, I don't.
Here's one from Sage.
Hey guys, it's Sage. So here's what I don't get is fucking businesses. Yes, another fucking business problem. Businesses that their hours show that they're only open from, let's say, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you set up an appointment with them for 10 a.m. and then you go there and they're not fucking open because their hours are apparently changed. So their fucking website is wrong. The fucking Google Maps is wrong because they don't fucking update their shit. Yelp is wrong. Everything is fucking wrong. And I set up an appointment and they aren't fucking open. Just correct everything, you fucking moron. Why is your site allowing me to book a fucking appointment when you're not fucking open? Let me show up an hour fucking early before you open, you fucking retard. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, bye.
But that does drive me crazy. Right now, it's like all these businesses change their hours during the scamdemic.
Mhm.
And so now they've not like gone back to normal, but they also never updated anything. So you'll just, you'll Google Map to somewhere, it'll claim to be open, and then you pull up and there's fucking closed. That happened to me a couple weeks ago. I worked late, and I didn't work that late. It wasn't like midnight. It was 10:30, maybe 11. And I tried to stop at like 3 different fast food places just to get something to eat because I hadn't eaten that day. And they're all fucking closed. I'm going through their stupid shift change bullshit.
Yep.
Let's see. I've got some more here from Andy.
Here's what I don't get. In Season 4, Episode 3 of the classic American documentary series, Mr. Ed, it's revealed that America was not discovered by Columbus, but by a talking horse named Sir Ed. Sir Ed steered the ship Columbus was aboard in order to help him find America, as Columbus was incompetent. Sir Ed bears a striking resemblance in appearance and voice to Mr. Ed, raising the question of whether Ed is actually the 8-year-old Palomino he claims to be, or an immortal that has changed the entire fabric of modern society and civilization via divine equestrian intervention. What I don't get is that he's referred to as Sir Ed despite being the noble seat of his Spanish Queen Isabella. Sir is an English term that would not have been bestowed by a Spanish queen. How ridiculous.
Senor Ed.
Oh, these are gold, Jerry. Gold.
I think I have a gluten allergy.
I think someone might have the wrong voicemail. uh,
Hey, Sam and Tim, this is Mr. Hamilton Berger. And here's what I don't get. Here's what I don't get commentary on used cars. I don't understand. Kurt Russell is awesome. It's a funny movie. And now that Tab is living in St. Louis, I guess we're never going to get it. Seriously, though, really enjoyed your guys' podcast, even though I couldn't be a spite producer for the whole time. I appreciated it. And, yeah, and missed the show. Go fuck yourselves.
Used Cars is like one of the few Kurt Russell movies we haven't done a commentary on.
Yeah, we've done a lot of them.
Yeah.
That and Overboard.
Overboard. We didn't do Tango and Cash, although we did watch Tango and Cash
it,
last weekend. Yeah.
Not good.
It is not a good movie.
Hey, so Dead Home. So instead of doing some sappy shit and being like, here's what I don't get, podcast ended, fucking why? I'm gonna actually just give a real fucking issue. Here's what I don't get: horses. Why the fuck? Every horse I've ever been around is a fucking asshole. We have a fucking little Shetland pony at my house, and the little fucking cunt decides to run out whenever the fuck I am pulling out of the goddamn driveway. So it's come to an impulse thing where I just want to fucking leave it out there to get hit by a car. But, you know, I would never hear the end of it and it'd probably get my ass beat. So, yeah, fuck horses. Fuck them hard. Later. Or not later, I guess. Bye forever.
Horses, big problem. Vote them up.
Hey, my name's Mark Worth. I just started listening to your podcast, and I'm kind of suicidal right now. But I figured that after I listened to 301 episodes of your show, it should take that urge to kill myself away. So I'm listening through them very quickly. And right after 301, I will not kill myself. I love you guys, Buck, Chaco. You guys are great, man. Trump 2024.
Uh-oh.
So I was thinking about all the comments people have made about keeping the voicemail alive without the rest of the show. And I kind of thought a nice format for that. You know, you could be HWIDGVM, just the voicemail, or you could sequentially keep the episode going after 300, but it starts out with ad gag, theme song, welcome gag, then ding the bell twice, then do an RNN opening bumper, then do an RNN closing bumper, then ding the bell twice, then do a sign-off, then do the theme song, pimp the voicemail number, and go into voicemail segment. It should be like an empty container, but you still keep all the parts. It's great. You know, you gangbusters. You know what? I'll even host it for you, so you just have to send me the voicemails and upload what I send to the feed. Easy peasy. Let me know.
I want Mr. Edcast from
Yeah, that's what I want.
Andy.
Hey guys, Dead Home. Won't be able to call in today, so I will call in and give you here's what I don't get. And managing is fucking stupid. Like, you have all this extra responsibility for like $2 more an hour, if not like $3-4 more bucks an hour. But you have to deal with the fucking cranky people that are like, oh, it's not here, and then have to deal with Karens, and then people, you know, coming in 30 minutes before close and being like, oh yeah, we're from out of town. You guys close at 9:30. No, we don't. We close at 9. Here. And then, you know, they just fucking fight me. Let's kill everything. I'm sorry. I called you the cigar guy. I did not recognize your voice because, you know, when you were going on the little autistic rant, it kind of sounded like a younger person. It sounded autistic instead of just more older and mature. And, you know, I don't want to have a three-way, okay? I just want to fight Sage. Fuck me and fight me. I'm not going to give you the option either or like Sage is. I'm a fucking man. Do both. See you guys later.
Fuck me and fight me, bro. Let's see.
Here's what I don't get. How could you forget me? After everything I've done for you, after everything we've been through, after the junior prom last time, Tab, how could you do this? It was only a month ago. Please, Tab, please.
I'm gonna have to get another restraining order. I don't know if that really came through, but that just sounded like someone breathing heavily for.
I did not get that. No.
Yeah. The music. So the music is a Spite producer request to put "Careless Whisper" over "Mr. Kill Everything" and Sage's voicemails. So I'm also adding it to the Dead Helm one whenever he's.
Well, congratulations for making it to episode 300. You guys put on a great show. So thank you, Tim and Tab. Also, thank you, Buck and Chaco, for starting the show. And also thanks to Todd as well. So it's going to be missed. And for my final don't get, here's what I don't get. Why the show has to end.
It's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Why does anything have to end?
Here's what I don't get. Why has Andy not found me in his walls? I mean, I've been knocking him for a few hours now. Like, he's not hurt me yet. I've made some pretty loud sounds. Like, I've broken a few of the walls. Wait, is he still here? I'm not sure if he's left. Wait, oh, no. This is the wrong house. This is the wrong house. Oh, man. Well, I'm just, I don't know. I got a clock out here. Boom.
Okay.
Here's the next one. In season 5, episode 4 of the classic American documentary series, Ed digs a tunnel under the barn and then under the house to try to escape. He eventually causes an earthquake, scaring everyone out of the house, then blasts up through the floor of the house. Floor joists wouldn't be spaced widely enough for him to fit. If they were spaced that widely, Wilbur would have fallen through the floor long ago. That's not how construction works.
I see. That is a good point. That's not how construction works.
Here's what I don't get. You know what? I totally forgot. Well,
Tab, how are you now?
Good and you?
Oh, not so bad. I was going to call in and give a don't get about half-assers at work and bitch about the people I work with because they fucking suck. But then I thought about it, and I got half-assers that I'm calling right now. If I thought y'all were going to just do 300 episodes and quit, I would be still invested. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. All right, I love you guys' show. Sorry to see it end. It's been a great run. Best of luck to the both of you.
Here's what I don't get. Why is everything Legos where I am? Like the walls that I'm in are Legos. Everything's Legos. Like, I've broken them down. Everything inside the house is Legos. The oven is Legos. The chairs are Legos. Andy is actually just a pair of Legos. Like a Star Destroyer and, like just a bunch of yellow Legos for some reason. I don't know why. That's my issue today.
I don't know, but I do know this. The plural of Lego is
Lego.
Lego, no S. Oh, that's one of those things where it's like Frankenstein versus Frankenstein's monster.
Uh-huh.
Shut the fuck up. Actually, it's Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein's nobody gives a shit.
Here's what I don't get. In season 5, episode 12 of the classic American documentary series, Mr. Ed goes on a trip to Hawaii. While he is there, he goes surfing.
Of course.
As he is surfing, you can plainly see that not a single hoof is on the surfboard. All four hooves are on top of the water next to the surfboard. It wouldn't be buoyant that way, and the coefficient of friction would be all wrong. These physics are absurd.
Mr. Ed goes surfing.
Mr. Ed.
Yep.
Look out for a pod is a pod. Oh God, oh God. A Mr. Ed pod. Coming maybe eventually to wherever you get your podcast and NinjaAndy.com.
I hope that it's a short, like 45-second podcast review of every episode.
It's just the voicemail. So.
Yeah.
I remember now. Here's what I don't get. Feuds on a podcast or a show or whatever, where it amounts to just people going, "Yeah, you're fucking gay. No, you're fucking gay. No, you're fucking gay for going and ordering your food late. Well, you're fucking gay for not wanting to fight me. Well, you're fucking gay for not for thinking about me." That was the worst ending to a feud I've ever seen. And of course, it always ends with the mundane Matt thing. The, "Oh, hey, are we cool?" Or, "Oh, good talking to you, Sage." No, this was the thing building up for, I think, years. Probably years. Years. And you guys are just going to end it like a bunch of pussies? No. You were supposed to get in there and spit fucking venom at each other. It was supposed to be the fireworks show to put "Here's what I don't get" to bed. But you're so fucking gay and you're so fucking neutered that you just go on and want to have a fucking hug fest at the end. I hope both Sage and what's the other guy?
Mr. Kill Everything.
Whatever, the other guy. I hope they fucking kill themselves. What a terrible ending. Fuck you. And goodbye. Here's what I don't get.
Player 4 has entered the game.
Great show. Too bad it's got to end. Honestly, I don't want to end my voicemail because, this is a few more seconds of the show going on.
That's a good strategy.
It is.
Just keep
What am I
voicemails
going
going
to
in,
do
and we
on
can never
Thursdays
stop
now?
recording. Although I do have a hard out at
Anyway.
3 p.m. So
Good luck, Tab. Good luck, Tim. Goodbye.
hasta luego.
This is the point where we finally reveal that we've been being produced by Warner Brothers and HBO, the team behind Game of Thrones, the whole time.
We're actually going to be launching a new show on HBO Max to replace all that woke bullshit. Here's another one.
Here's what I don't get. Insert item here stores that don't have any insert item here. So I'm on the road, and instead of my truck, I'm driving a car that I bought a little while back. And sure enough, I'm in the middle of nowhere in this town, like 7,000 people. And I cut the other sidewall of the tire. Air compressor ain't saving me on this one. So I get on my Googler machine, and then I go, what tire shops are in this town? They have one tire shop. All right, cool. So I follow them. And I ask them, "Hey guys, do you have any Google RSAs? We can get them. Okay, what do you have on hand in," and I give them the tire size. "Oh, well, we don't have any tires. When you want tires, we order them and get them the next day, unless it's Friday, in which case they come Monday."
What the fuck?
There's a tire shop with no tires. No tires at all. Not even a few Goodyear Wranglers laying around in a common size. No tires at this tire shop.
I don't remember.
And, I wouldn't even call them except the donut that came with this car.
Garbage.
The center bore is not big enough to fit over the hub. So it just kind of snugs up against the back of the center. It doesn't work. I could have run this thing a few miles maybe, but I'm 20 miles to any town that has anything. I had to call a buddy of mine to bring me a wheel and tire from 40 miles away because this shithole fucking tire shop has no tires. Not a single tire in the damn shop. What the hell?
What's the fucking point?
I guess they must not have like a storage room or anywhere to put tires.
Then don't be a tire store. You have to have tire, and the thing is, like, I don't know what the size is, but most sedans now they use these couple of common sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only if you have some weird car, like a Mercedes, will take its own specialized tire, or an older car before they really started standardizing that you know, if you're driving like any standard pickup truck or standard SUV, they're using a standard size tire. And so that way tire shops could be like, oh yeah, we have the Goodyear, the Michelin, the Yokohama, and the this, and like these are all the prices. Fucking stupid. Here's a long voicemail.
It's pretty interesting being the maybe one of the last voicemails that played for cars, but last episode 300. But one of the main things I'm noticing is with sci-fi TV shows, mainly Resident Alien and For All Mankind. There's this new trend with TV shows. They're meant for women. And with For All Mankind, they would have like certain problems with like, oh shit, something got fucked up on the planet Mars. They would fast forward through like, you know, a certain problem, and they would mainly focus on the human interactions. God damn it,
That's why I couldn't finish that season 1 of that show.
Yeah.
Explain this shit. Please delete this. Don't ever play it. But it's the same thing too with also Resident Alien. It's like they're focusing on women specifically, where they're focusing on emotions, and they're focusing on the emotions of the characters rather than the plot line. And it's just so blatantly obvious, and it's so fucking unfortunate. It's evolving from a don't get to a fucking rage, where I should be calling the Dick Show with this fucking rage of why are these people writing these storylines to it's like, why are they writing these fucking storylines, period? And it's evolving to God damn it, I can't even.
No, so I know why this is happening.
It's just so frustrating. Where where it's like your show's ending, and it's just so fucking frustrating. God damn it.
I know why this is happening. I can't say that like it's good or bad. I mean, it's definitely bad. The reason why shows are moving this way, we've known for years. Advertisers have known for years that women make something like 80% of household purchasing decisions.
Yeah.
Even men's products are advertised to women because a woman will buy your deodorant and be like, you need to wear your deodorant. And that sucks. So what they've now the demo's looking for more women viewers for television. So they're making television for women. And in making television for women, you take a sci-fi franchise like Star Trek or, you know, this For All Mankind, a new sci-fi franchise. You make it look cool, but you'd like tell the stories that you would tell in something like Ally McBeal, something that, or Desperate Housewives, something that has high women viewership. And but what you end up making is something that women don't want to watch because they're not largely, generally speaking, watching sci-fi series, and men don't want to watch it because it's about emotional, interpersonal bullshit. I mean, I think that is one of the greatest strengths of The Next Generation is that the show doesn't get mired down in the feelings that people have for one another. There's no romances. There are no romances in Star Trek The Next Generation. But that's not true of any of the other Star Trek series. There's always a romance. You got Sisko and Cassidy Yates. You got fucking Tom Paris and
Riker and Troy, I guess.
Torres. But they don't have this whole will they, won't they, and they had a previous relationship. Yeah. They don't really have it. By season 3, there is not even an indication that they were together.
Sure.
And then, you know, in Enterprise, they have the whole T'Pol Trip Tucker thing going on. And that's just something that doesn't need to be there. Because when you think about it, those are people at work. Those are people at work in a military environment in Star Trek. Why would they be debating and squabbling and crying in meetings? It just doesn't happen. That doesn't seem real. But women need that emotional thing. They need those like knockdown, drag out, crying moments of, oh, I cheated on you. I'm so sorry. Oh, no. And so you end up creating a product that nobody wants.
Yeah.
As opposed to making something, you know, like Ally McBeal, where women love it and men don't like it. I don't actually know anything about Ally McBeal or Sex in the City.
Yeah.
You're just making something for nobody. And when that keeps happening. I mean, I think that's what's happened with the She-Hulk series, is that they tried to make a show that was different, but also the same. And so it's just, it's not going to find an audience. Yeah. People who like courtroom drama stuff aren't getting that because the writers said, we don't know how to write that kind of stuff. And it's like, that's half the fucking show.
That's how that's like when the show's announced, they're like, it's a 30-minute like legal courtroom action comedy.
Yeah. And then they don't do any of the courtroom stuff, and it's also not funny. And so you're not going to find an audience. And so, yeah, they keep doing that, and they keep ruining franchises or creating new stuff that's just not appealing to anyone.
Here's what I heard, Dad. In Season 5, Episode 21 of the classic American documentary series, Mr. Ed wants to be a mail horse. He wants to deliver the mail. At one point in the episode, Ed becomes a one-horse band. He plays the Yellow Rose of Texas on a drum kit and harmonica. But when he's playing the harmonica, Ed does not cup the harmonica with his hoof. That's not how you play the harmonica. You have to cup it with your hoof into the microphone. Ed is a terrible musician.
Here's what I don't get. I am Andy, and I'm bad, and I don't know why I've always said I'm not bad. Like Mr. Ed Bad, Gingerbread Girl is amazing, as you can see, because she is just amazing at her job. She is the best person I have ever met. I first put my win in the barking act due to me being so bad at everything. And Mr. Ed Bad, I'm never going to call him ever again. Bye-bye.
That was a weird voicemail from Andy. I think these people they called so many times thinking that they get the final voicemail out of pure attrition.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't get. Recently, my cat has been waking me up by biting my nose in order for me to feed her. It's very effective. So, this morning, I tried to do the same thing to my girlfriend Bambi. It was far less effective. No cheeseburger was bestowed upon me.
He's learning things.
Yep.
Oh, we got one more here from it.
Oh, yeah, one more thing. Sage, you'll always be wrong.
I had to be sure to get that music stinger in there. We're down to like the last 5.
Here's what I don't get. Why are you so bad at your show? I've left 6 voicemails so far, and it's very difficult to do. Like, everybody else is doing so much work, and you're just over here forgetting what to do, forgetting your issues, and everybody else has to do your issues for you. Like, is everybody in the Discord just, telling you all the issues, like, 30 minutes before you start recording? Is this actually how you do it? I'm not sure. It kind of feels like it, because you're kind of bad. Because you're not good, because you're bad.
That's like a WATP review, but aimed at us. All right, this is, I think, the final update about Mr. Ed. Actually, it's showing me that I have,
Here's what I don't get. Mr. Ed. It's really not that good of a show. I have no idea how it made it 6 seasons. Do you realize in season 6,
more people are
multiple episodes, Ed and Wilbur are secret agent spies. I hate you, Andy. Because of you, I watched this series from beginning to end.
No one asked you to do
I
that.
will never forgive you for this.
I will never financially recover from this. Where do you even fucking watch Mr. Ed? It's 2022. It used to be on TV Land. I know that. I don't know where the fuck it is now. Oh, shit.
congrats on 300, and thanks for all the years of fun and entertainment that you made. I'd really love to see 7 with you guys go on in some form. I wouldn't much like it if y'all disappeared forever. Thanks for everything. I don't appreciate the company of people who wear tiny hats. How about you two?
I'm just going to go back and play this audio that Andy sent us earlier. Helpjews.org. Yeah, you know, I got to say, people that wear small hats kind of don't seem to be putting as much good into the world as they're taking out of it. I'll phrase it that way. Oh, shit, we got a new one.
Hey, this is for the guy listening to the show live who complained about Sage and I's feud ending the way it did. I absolutely agree, but don't worry, the feud's going to go on behind the scenes, behind the show. Don't worry, there's more to come.
Oh, there's more to come. All right, got another one here. There we go.
I heard your piece of shit derivative podcast is getting canceled. I fucking win again. You had 300 weeks in a row and then you fucking flip up and cancel the show? You're a loser. Just nothing but victories and red letter days for me for here on out. Here on out is nothing but blue skies and clear ocean waters and fuck you in your mouth. I fucking defeated you. Your fucking podcast sucks. And now Dick Mathis is next. Yeah, I'm the winner. I'm so fucking great at this shit. Fuck you.
Mad Cucks gets a win. He's taken out a major competitor.
Oh,
no. But actually, I have bad news for Mad Cucks. So we're going to continue the show. We're going to change the format slightly. Instead of it being me and Tim every week, it's going to be me and a rotation of hosts. It's probably going to be a shorter show. And not to be one to say, like, look, we're going to keep the show limping on. But like clearly a lot of people enjoy the show. I enjoy doing the show. It's just a huge time sink for a lot of people. So
yep.
I'm trying to streamline the show length and also not take advantage of anybody's time. So I'm going to tell you right now, next week, Joel Chaco and I are going to do an episode, and then I'll announce the rotation of hosts, but this is not true end. This is just the end of this season, basically.
Yeah.
The more I got to thinking about it over the past couple of weeks, the more I was torn. Like I've gone back and forth several times about like, let's end it. Let's, not let it limp on. And then it's like, no, we can keep doing it. I could do it by myself. Can't that wasn't really working. And then I talked to some people and, kind of came to this idea of maybe cutting the show in half, one issue each, and visiting with more people. And that way everybody's only ever doing, 2 hours a month instead of, we're doing 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
And so then most of the stress will be on me to edit and upload. But I think with the new tools we've been using with StreamYard and everything else, there is a chance this can be a lot easier for us. So, I'm happy people are happy. I didn't want to announce at the beginning of the show, but I did want to announce it before the end. So stay tuned on your podcast players. You'll be seeing an episode 301. And I'd like to keep the continuously running thing. It kind of depends on how things work out. Like there may be a time in the future where I just can't find an hour to do the show in a week. And so we may try and figure out a way for more people to do the show in my absence and keep the streak alive. Or we may just say, hey, we did it for 6 years uninterrupted. So anyway, here's what I'm going to ask of anybody who listens to the show. Give it 12 weeks. Let us get to the full 6-year anniversary, episode 312. And if you hate it, let me know, and we will actually cancel the show. If you're still enjoying it, if you still like the new format, then we'll keep going until somebody dies, basically.
It's the Jason Todd effect.
Yeah. So, we got another voicemail here. They're just pouring in. I think someone heard about us not actually canceling the show. He must be really devastated.
Yep.
Or maybe tornado sirens just going on.
It's Wednesday noon.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Or you finally got Stuttering John's attention.
Hey, that's why we got to keep the show going. Got to get sued again.
Yep.
Well, so that's it for this week. And until next time, I'm Tab Burt.
I'm Jim the Handle Breaker.
Catch you next week.
See ya.
And I have to hop off this.
Cool.
And do work stuff. So I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
See ya. See ya, everybody. Thanks for watching.